We have now seen each of the trio and their armies. What makes each of them unique? In terms of individual combat, it seems as though all three generals aren't too far apart, with each having had their fair showing of capability in duels. However, what makes the balance of power among the trio so interesting is how Hara thought of various factors that amplify each individual general's strengths, from instinct to pure strategy to a delicate balance of martial might and tactics, all of which come together to drive the beautiful depiction of the warring states period that is Kingdom. And so, every single one of the trio and their armies have their own unique strengths that give them a personalized advantage over the competition, whether it be Shin, Mouten, or Ouhon. No two generals and their armies are alike, each having their own style and specialties, make them a force to be reckoned with as Qin's future military symbols. So today, we'll break down the greatest strength of each of the trio and their armies, starting with, of course, our main character, Shin, and the Rishin unit. Now, you could argue that the Rishin unit's greatest strength is its general, Rishin, being the only one out of the trio to best a 3 great heaven of Shao, that is, Hoken, said to be on par with the 6 great generals of Qin. Shin could be said to be at this current point in Kingdom's story the most powerful of this new generation, and is also the only one with the unique instinctual ability. However, Shin still needs to further hone this instinct before being able to take full command, especially strategically, of his army. That being said, Shin's greatest strength as of right now is his martial might with a growing instinct. His long list of generals' heads can speak for themselves, with Hoken's being his crowning accomplishment. Though very difficult to replicate due to the amount of weight that was needed to avenge Oki, it still demonstrates Shin's great innate potential. Not only does Shin have Kaioten to assist with strategy, there is a bolster in numbers and overall ability, with Kyokai and an additional unit being a part of the Rishin unit. And so, Shin is able to focus alone on leading devastating and effective charges upon the enemy as the vanguard, for instance, absolutely destroying Chogar Ryu of Shao. Furthermore, his instinct allows him to stalemate with a very experienced general in Ouhon whilst being at a 2,000 man disadvantage. Additionally, Shin has also shown to have developed a close to, if not already, great general level of leadership, having awakened his unit during the battle at Shukai Plains. However, while Shin indeed may be the greatest in terms of martial might, in terms of pure strategy and tactics, it would most likely be Mouten and the Gaku unit that would stand out as number 1. Now, we may be getting ahead of ourselves here, as compared to Shin and the Rishin unit, we have barely seen the Gaku unit fight, but there are a couple clues in the story so far that have given Mouten and his unit some shine. To begin with, Mouten was said to be Shoheiken's greatest student ever, back when he was still in strategy school. Shoheiken being someone that is said to be on par with the likes of Riboku and Osen, 2 of the greatest strategical and tactical minds in Kingdom. Moreover, Mouten does indeed possess enough strategic ability to interfere with the battlefield and manipulate the playing board, albeit not on the same level but close to Riboku and Osen as admitted by the latter. He has the tactical capability to implement complex maneuvers and plans with his unit, especially cooking up some filthy plans with his cavalry. Similarly, Mouten has also shown to have a great general level of leadership, being able to not only assume command of the Mako army after their general was killed, but also holding out the entire left wing all on his lonesome, and stalling out Kisui's Regan army for the entirety of the battle at Shukai Plains. However, overwhelming martial might or meticulously orchestrated strategy and tactics aren't everything. If you can't decimate your enemies on your own or cook up a mean strategy to blow your enemies away, why not just utilize a balance of both martial might and strategy? That is exactly what Ouhon and the Gaku unit specialize in, as the unique advantage that none of the other 2 generals seem to have is this balance. That's right, Ouhon has demonstrated some dirty martial might and ability, which may honestly be above Shin's, if not for the extra weight that Shin has. It is more than likely right now that Ouhon is well and truly the most powerful / famous spear wielder in the Middle Kingdom, having used his own precision style technique to defeat the destructive style force that was El Shi, a great general part of the 7 fire dragons of Wei. Along with high martial capability, he has also demonstrated more than decent tactics and a great aptitude for strategy, being able to outwit Chogar Ryu in a critical situation during the Western Shao invasion arc, and speaking honestly, outsmarting Gahome with his impressive plan during the Chiyoyo campaign during the Fire Dragons of Wei arc. In addition, like the other 2, he may well also have a great general level of leadership, also awakening his unit alongside Shin during the battle as Shukan plays. So let me know what you guys think the greatest strength of each of the trio and their armies is in the comment section below. Enjoy this video? Check out my other videos. Be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to stay updated on my latest videos. I appreciate you guys.